The man finds himself in a desert where the temperature is 60 degrees Celsius. System warns temperature will rise 0 to degrees Celsius each minute. He slowly gets up as a system prompt appears. It tells him he's cooked to medium rare. As expected, his back is already burned by the sand, but he is more curious about how he got here. He looks around and sees dilapidated buildings everywhere. He discovers an evil drone hiding in a toilet rated level 3 danger. This confirms his suspicion that he's entered an unknown region. Perhaps this pop-up system is a perk of being a time traveler. But what's going on with these handcuffs? Did he have become a criminal? His eyes fixed on the handcuffs. After 3 seconds, the system informed him it merely looked like handcuffs. In reality, it's a surveillance device used by the elites. The system that advised that breaking the cuffs would take a long time. Finding water is now crucial, and he realizes his dire situation. With little time left, he can only bet on this path leading to water. Meanwhile, his survival struggle on the Hideout's 4th floor is live streamed. Elites are cursing, having wagered large sums on his death. Yet he managed to survive against the odds for quite some time. The blue zone was scorching hot, yet the man showed no sign of discomfort. Meanwhile, he walked and kept track. He recalled keywords, nobles, monsters, and surveillance. It seemed he was in a survival game played by the nobility. Without realizing, he'd been walking for nearly 50 minutes. This meant it was over 70 degrees. Suddenly, he heard rushing water ahead and tried to catch some in his hands. Surprisingly, the water was icy despite the high heat. It meant the groundwater was initially very cold. That's why it hadn't warmed up. So he quickened his pace and finally reached the corner. He found the sewer entrance, saw the pried manhole cover, and kicked it. He sent the manhole cover flying. Now there's only one way to resolve this. First, survive. Then find the path to the high tower. The man grinned, realizing it's a gamble. The nobles of this world must be watching me. So he stood before the camera and made a mocking gesture with his hands. This scene stirred quite a commotion on the Hideout's 4th floor. A nobleman smashed his wine glass in anger. They thought he was an actor hired by the casino, as in VIP stands a woman wearing the bronze mask scolded her subordinates for not properly checking this man's background. The subordinates nervously explained he was a beggar from the slums with no talent sequence. After the call, the white-haired old man sighed and ordered subordinates to disguise themselves as humanoid evil drones to eliminate him. They wanted the nobles to think he was killed by evil drones. The armored man before them wielded a Tier 2 stage for inherent force. His talent sequence was 755, known as steel armament. The old man also warned him to keep his emotions in check or else the monsters would go berserk and attack him in any sense of negative emotion. He gave a quick reply and walked out of the tower. He knew he couldn't let that man live, even if it meant his own death. Why was the man sent here? Apparently, he had lacked empathy since childhood. Even when people bullied him by hitting his head with a brick, he showed no fear and remained indifferent. Even at his own father's funeral, he didn't shed a tear. The man made by Wu was a special police officer in the city's administration team. Despite successfully cracking many major cases, his colleagues always saw him as a monster. On the night they were arresting a suspect, a criminal resisted arrest by pulling out a gun and shooting Bai Wu. This explains how he ended up in the post-apocalyptic world. Bai Wu continued down the corridor. His analytical skills. He knew that in any gambling setup, someone's always secretly pulling the strings. He walked a bit further and suddenly heard footsteps ahead. Bai Wu gave an eerie smile. The guest is arriving, while on the other side, a man clad head to toe in armor was approaching Bai Wu. Bai Wu was crouched at the corner, silently observing him. The system warned him that this person was cautious and suspicious, so when the man was nearing the corner, the waiting corridor echoed with a second-tier inherent force and iron armament, "You're still moving slow. Are you just useless?" The man paused when he heard that. He quickly ran towards the voices. Bai Wu taunted, "I bet you're wondering how I know your talent sequence, huh? Am I right?" The man stopped again, obviously distracted. Bai Wu laughed maniacally. "Isn't it weird a beggar lasted so long here? I bet plenty of people want me dead. That's why you were sent to kill me. But if a beggar can last to the end and laugh at everyone, shouldn't a show like this be more popular? So you're the unfortunate one who was set up for this." Fear surged within the man. The white mist calmly emerged. An evil drone overhead sensed the negative emotions and moved towards the man across, slowly wriggling. The evil drone suddenly lunged at the man, maw wide open. The man couldn't react before the massive jaws clamped onto him. The man screamed in agony, but the evil drone kept tearing his body apart. After 15 minutes, the evil drone had devoured him whole. The man's blood quickly turned the whole area red. Once the evil drone let go of the body, Bai Wu slowly approached. After searching, he found a disc the size of his palm. The system indicated it was a return device that sends you back to your origin. Just as Bai Wu was about to leave, dialogue boxes popped up one after another. Area search completion for 5. Evil drones left 35. Doomsday puzzle piece not yet collected. After freeing himself from the cuffs, Bai Wu smiled and used the return device. He wondered if the tower's interior was more interesting. Soon, Bai Wu vanished. The scene shifted to the 7th Exploration Corps camp where a member rushed in to report. Bai Wu, around 18 or 19 years old, was polishing his sword when the 7th team captain suddenly paused. Who can you, known as 5'9", frowned slightly. Is that it? Limos, the 13th team captain, burst out laughing. Looks like your 7th team isn't very skilled in interrogation. The head of the interrogation team explained that no matter what methods they used, he could always point out the flaws in their techniques. In the end, we were the ones being interrogated. Limu perked up. Wow, who exactly have you caught? 5'9's face darkened. What questions did he ask? The interrogation head replied. His questions were odd, asking how many floors the Haidar has. How did evil drones form and what are inherent forces and talent sequences? Even a 3-year-old knows this stuff, but he's acting clueless. Limu got excited. This guy isn't arresting, just what I needed due to my staffing shortage. Send him my way. Wu Jiayu thought Limu wanted him as an interrogator, but isn't that too much? Limu smirked. Seems you're interested in him too. Wu Jiayu said a loan shark reported a case 5 months ago. He mentioned that a poor debtor of his vanished, and there seemed to be plenty of missing persons cases. Limu was puzzled. It's not his jurisdiction, so why investigate? Wu Jiayu snorted. Why would those nobles care about the poor? In this place, status is everything. Only those on the 3rd level and above are true masters. I followed this lead trail until I uncovered a gambling operation. It was a gambling ring run by those on the 4th level, pushing these poor people into the blue zone. Hearing this, Limu was taken aback. These people must be crazy. WUGU suggested the blue zone might not be thrilling anymore. Then he gestured to the interrogation team leader, referencing the extreme conditions of the blue zone. Only the mutated evil drones can truly meet their needs. A misty scene appeared on the screen. WUGU noted that this minor player disrupted their plan, surviving outside the tower for almost 2 hours, but didn't draw a single evil drone. I got a mysterious phone call. A young-sounding woman called, which made Limu curious since the 4th layer has never been friendly to our core. But why not get the Tower Town Defense Army involved? Wu Jiayu suspected the woman's goal was to have me say Bai Wu before the Zhuang family. Then he asked Limu, alright, isn't your interrogation work quite renowned? If it's so good, why don't you handle the interrogation yourself? Limu laughed heartily. Well, I'll just have to see for myself what makes him so impressive. Wu Jiayu muttered to himself, this opportunity is too good to pass up. 700 years ago, humanity's world faced an apocalypse. The environment changed dramatically too. Monsters called evil drones continue to emerge. Humanity faces an unprecedented crisis. Fortunately, a Haidar suddenly appeared. It offered humanity a last hope for survival. No one knows its history, or why it exists. In following decades, humanity discovered the inherent force, a power against evil drones. This power significantly boosts human abilities like speed and strength. The inherent force isn't linked to training, leave the tower to enhance it. The longer you survive outside, the more the inherent force grows. Items we carry change outside, the longer, the more effective they become. We call these spirit attachments, and the talent sequence are superpowers. There are 24 known types. The earlier the sequence, the rarer and stronger the ability. Most people are fairly ordinary, ranked between 1,000 and 700. Those above 500, like Wu Jiayu, are key members of the Corps. The Exploration Corps' strongest warrior, Wu Jiayu, survived 24 days in the blue zone outside the tower. Even the formidable Imperial Guard Corps has frequently invited him, hoping Wu Jiayu would join them. In this world where status means everything, the Imperial Guard Corps, as well as the Exploration Corps, are formed by the 5-tier rulers. Within the Imperial Guard Corps, members are nobles are indifferent to the lives of commoners. They often call the Exploration Corps the Refugee Corps. The man gave Bai Wu a basic understanding of the world. This world encourages leading the tower to grow stronger. A female team member said with excitement. Wu Jiayu's inherent force has reached the fearsome 8th level. It's among the rare few that can face high mutation evil drones directly. At that moment, Liu Mu rushed in, surprising the team. Captain Liu, why are you here? Liu Mu didn't respond, remaining silent. Enough talk, let them leave the interrogation room. Bai Wu swayed the water cup, seeming immune to negative emotion. Liu Mu plopped down and said, Kid, sit down. Let me get straight to the point, but he was interrupted. Bai Wu cut in, I'll join you. Liu Mu was taken aback. The sudden shift left him speechless, and seeing his lack of response, Bai Wu continued, but I won't be part of your team, I want to stay here. Liu Mu lit up as soon as he heard this. Wait, how do you know about us? Bai Wu then explained. The interrogation shows you're unclear about my identity. And since you let me live, you're not the same group that threw me out of the tower. Since we're not enemies, why go through this heavy interrogation or question what I did outside? It seems the only reason for this is because you want to recruit me. And judging by the 2 interrogators' reactions, they didn't expect you to show up. So you're not their squad leader, and your shield is broken, isn't it? I didn't think spirit attachment items could break too. Looks like the evil drone you dealt with was way stronger than mine. Liu suddenly forgot why he came here and just followed up with Baiwu's question. So, how did you know I use a shield? Baiwu explained. I saw an assassin outside the tower with its head pierced by claws. The evil drone targets vital spots. You have a scar below your wrist bone. As a squad leader in the exploration corps, you're undoubtedly very skilled. Your body heals much faster than that of an ordinary person. It's rare for anyone in the tower to leave a scar on you. Moreover, ordinary people have protruding wrist joints. But yours are the opposite, which is unusual. Only someone who's used a shield for years would have such a feature. The scars from using the shield show it was damaged. Liu was taken aback by this. He even forgot his own identity for a moment. White mist pointed at his wrist when he raised his shield to shield his face. The evil drone's claws would hit just 3 centimeters below the wrist, making Liu clench his fist tightly. I need to pass this to Team 13, Baiwu emphasized while pointing at the file you showed me. The talent sequence table you provided only starts from 700 onwards. I need a full version of the talent sequence table now. If you could help me obtain it, I might consider joining. Before Baiwu could finish, he noticed the room was empty. Meanwhile, Liu was dashing away. Rushing to the archive, Liu called out, "Someone, quickly bring me the full talent sequence table." 15 minutes later, Liu came back to the interrogation room, out of breath. It appears you're quite unfamiliar with some basic facts about the height hour. Baiwu said, "I've lost my memory." Liu paused, thinking Baiwu devise a more convincing explanation, yet Baiwu insisted. "Those who captured me probably erased my memories for convenience." "My memories?" Liu chuckled. "All right, but I'll clarify within the bottom 3 sequences of the height hour. Sequence 59, Extreme Shadow, but number 256 hasn't been seen in a while. No higher sequences have emerged. Statistics show most awakened rank beyond 700, regardless of time outside tower. Look at talent sequence 76, Absolute Dissolution. Accidentally awakened more than 20 years ago by a low-level miner. His life was completely transformed, but Baiwu showed no envy. He simply concluded, I bet that person won't end well. Liu admitted that the miner not only vanished, and the incident was quickly covered up. The top commander of the Imperial Guard Corps did not pursue the case, but tried to wipe out all records of this person. Baiwu gazed at talent sequence 24, P-Rail's eye, which reveals style where the gaze focuses. Align with one's hidden rates with notes describing its progression. Unknown talent sequence 24, P-Rail's eye reveals style and focus and evolves with one's personality. It was then that Baiwu realized the dialogue boxes weren't from a system, but his own awakened talent sequence. But why does this body possess such a high sequence? The inherent force boost doesn't suggest it has one. After leaving the tower, he asked whether the organization conducts talent sequence tests. Liu said the talent sequence is personal, people keep it secret. Baiwu sighed in relief, it was good news. He asked about the talent sequences. Can someone awaken just one? Liu, yes, only one can be awakened. Defeating powerful evil drones grants an extra sequence. Even if evil drones exist, hope to never encounter them. Baiwu thought. P-Rail's eye isn't suited for combat and probably wouldn't be even if enhanced. He needed a way to find another talent. At that moment, Liu approached Baiwu. Here's the sequence list I got for you. Take a look and tell me if. He immediately shoved the talent sequence list back to its place. Sorry Liu, you're a good guy, but I'm going with the 7 squad. Liu quickly wanted to know why. Baiwu explained that during the last interrogation he learned it. The 7 squad leaves the tower most often, making Liu reluctant. If you're that eager to leave the tower, I can transfer you to the Vanguard team and accommodate your requests. Baiwu shook his head, dismissing 13 as unlucky, which nearly made Liu curse. Scene shifts to Baiwu elevator with 7 squad heading 900 meters underground. 59 mentioned that by joining our team, you'll assume a lower level status. Additionally, we'll secure a spot for you at the base of the height hour. You'll need to pay 400 tower coins per month for rent. As Baiwu listened and sized up Wu Jiu, a dialogue box popped up. Turns out Wu Jiu is just 159 meters tall, no wonder he's called Wu Jiu. He holds a secret that intrigues the 6th player. The secret's out. Wu Jiu abruptly introduced himself. I'm Gu Qingyu. Call me Captain Gu. Baiwu mischievously stepped forward and said, Sure, Wu Jiu. Wu Jiu turned back, livid, glaring at the two who surely leaked his nickname. Then, Baiwu said, he had a small request, one Wu Jiu seemed to anticipate. If you don't want to leave the tower, join the interrogation team. We've got plenty of cases. Before finishing, Baiwu cut in, I want to leave the tower tomorrow. The others were stunned. After a moment, Wu Jiu turned and said, We've tested inherent force before. You've been in the blue zone for under 2 hours and are at stage 1, level 3. But at stage 1, even mildly mutated evil drones are a risk. Baiwu interrupted. No need to warn me how dangerous outside is. Just let me go with the veterans. I won't hold anyone back. I'm not looking to die, and I think you know that. Don't really want me to stay inside a tower, right? Wu Jiu frowned. All right, tomorrow at 10 a.m., I'll go with the 4 from Group 1. With you, we form a 6-person team heading to the blue zone. Baiwu asked further. What's above the blue area? The two behind him fell silent. Is this guy really clueless about everything? The man brandished a shovel during a post-apocalyptic live stream, spouting grand claims. Known as the Mind God Shovel with 17 hours of spirit attachment, it extracts in hours what others take a month to. Valuable minerals others couldn't mine in a month. Had I not joined the exploration corps, I'd have kept this miraculous shovel. Only 998 order now for a 300 off. Yunshu was stunned. How dare this fraud use the expedition corps name? We can't let him disgrace us. Let's go. Let's report to the captain and have them all arrested. Seeing this, Bai Wu hurriedly told the CI to follow and check it out. In case Yunshu gets into trouble, someone needs to be there to help him. Zhu CI then followed, passing his bag and money to Bai Wu before leaving. He told him to hang around the area. After exploring much of the rundown port, Bai Wu finally paused in front of a shop called Orange Baby Depot. Half an hour later, Bai Wu returned home, arms laden with bags. On the table, he spotted a box, alongside a note from Jiu. He opened the box and carefully read the guidebook. Newcomers are given an emotion tracking wristband when they leave the tower. The wristband will alert you if you get too emotional. All members of the expedition corps must follow the rules. Activate the device as soon as the alarm goes off. Put on the wristband while passing through the portal's mist. He felt the system for coping outside the tower was well designed. The dial always showed 0, so it was useless to him. He picked up a mood stabilizer as he neared the evil drones. When close enough, and the dial nears the danger zone, inject this. It won't cause muscle relaxation but briefly calms you. The effect lasts about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, emotions spike, amplifying negative feelings. Avoid using unless necessary as advised in P-Rail's eye. Bai Wu grabbed a syringe, injected it into his neck, and quietly counted. As he awaited the 5-minute emotional response, he recalled his most painful past experiences. But his heart remained unmoved. He hadn't felt sadness, anger, or fear in ages. The 300 seconds flew by. Yet he felt nothing, no rebound or trace of excitement. Feeling a bit sleepy, he decided to just forget it. I shouldn't have expected anything. The next day, Bai Wu arrived early to meet with Jiu and the others. In front of him was the teleport stone tablet, and P-Rail's eye gave a signal. These tablets were given the power to tear through space, but their true purpose was to trap the one at the top of the tower. Bai Wu wondered, who is that? P-Rail's eye didn't give much away. The stakes are too high, it's better if we're oblivious. While he was thinking, Wu Jiu approached with some veteran members. New recruit joining our investigation outside the tower today. Let's introduce. Then a strong man spoke up first. I'm Wang Shi. Nice to meet you, brother. Is your bag packed with items for spirit attachment? He was born into a wealthy family on the 3rd level of the Height Hour. He joined the exploration corps for excitement, though tough, loves collecting Barbie dolls. White Mist simply replied, yes. He plans to take them out of the tower to try his luck. The long-haired man scoffed, rookie, don't hold us back. I hope this time next year isn't the anniversary of your death since we hardly know each other. We're not close, so I won't mourn you if you die, someone from the 2nd level remarked. An effeminate man, prettier than a woman, known for his sharp tongue and love of dissecting. Why don't you try to tame him? White Mist replied, only follow strong leads, not hold them back. But little sister, you look so good. Just then a man shyly said, hi, I'm Shang Zhaoyi. He seems harmless, but in a fight he's the wildest of the bunch. He often loses control and is dragged back to the Height Hour. Bai Wu offered his hand. As he was about to say hello, a stunning woman appeared out of nowhere. She shoved Shang Zhaoyi aside and took Bai Wu's extended hand. This beauty Yin Shung is an Avenger. Like the short guy, she holds secrets that intrigue the 6th layer. From the 2nd layer, Bai Wu seems the most normal, now deep in thought. The secret intriguing the 6th layer was noted twice. Is it a rare sequence? Yin Shung turned away after the introduction. Bai Wu asked, there are 6 of us, where's the other person? 59 patted his shoulder, he's dead. Just look after yourself, Bai Wu. He didn't press further, convinced the whole 7 squad were villains. 59 headed to the tower exit as the other team returned. Everyone, prepare to leave immediately. These 6 colored monoliths align with 6 levels of distortion outside the tower. These investigations are mainly carried out by the Legion handling area inspections. Secure blue-line grass, hide our energy minerals, and fewer evil drones. Send a large number of workers to that area. Captain 59, overseeing labor and development, walked toward the teleportation monument. As soon as his palm touched the white monument, immediately a series of numbers appeared above the grid on the monument's left side. Soon 59 was engulfed by the light. The others followed toward the white light. Meanwhile, Yin Shung paused to confirm with Bai Wu. Checked the watch and the dial. Then gave a detailed explanation of the grid next to the teleportation gate. Each time someone leaves, an automatic number is generated and numbers increase sequentially. Bai Wu entered a 7-digit number representing 700. After leaving the tower over 1,000,000 times, his body began to vanish. Seconds later, when Bai Wu opened his eyes, a deserted hospital appeared before him. He and the 5 others were standing outside the walls of the 9th psychiatric hospital. If we don't go in, the exploration difficulty will match expectations. But once inside, who knows how extreme the patient's emotions might get. This place is a breeding ground for evil drones. I'd rather you not go in, but there's a puzzle inside only you can solve. After reading Puriel's eye notes, Bai Wu suspected the puzzle was linked to Doomsday puzzle fragments when she chuckled. He laughed, thinking there's surely something interesting inside. Xiang Xiaoyi trembled as he said, there are plenty of evil drones inside and I'm a bit scared. Bai Wu glanced at his watch, noting the stable readings. Zero. This guy is good at disguising himself. 59 checked the data, noting the temperature was 46 degrees. 46 degrees, and they call that comfortable. Bai Wu thought these guys must be crazy. Yin Shun noticed no bluegrass ores indicating near the city. The city area. Behind them, just a highway and some papu trees. Wang Shu was thrilled. Let's check it out, you usually see this in blue zones. From behind, Bai Wu quietly reminded, be careful. Move gently. No sooner had he spoken than Lin War, oh you mock scaredy cat. If you're scared, then go back. Don't lure the drones and hold us up. Wu Jiayu had enough and came over. Let me open it, he said. He gently pushed open the mental hospital's iron gate. They soon discovered from medical towers, each around 19 stories tall. This isn't a low-standard hospital. When she asked which building should we explore first, Bai Wu surveyed the hospital. We can only enter via the first building, he said. For buildings, but only one entry is open, the others are sealed off. To access the second building, you need to go to the 19th floor. The group checked and confirmed they indeed had to cross the skywalk. Lin War, oh you snorted, at least you're useful. Bai Wu suspected oddities. Every design has a reason. Maybe the owner doesn't want anyone in the second building. Xiang Xiaoyi's hand trembled slightly. Captain, 17 evil drones, how scary. He's acting calm again. Suppressing excitement, he stayed calm. 59 ordered everyone alert as they entered building 1. 6 pushed open the hospital's ground floor door. What they saw was an indescribable mess. Patient files scattered on the floor and the registration area walls were smeared with blood. Eerie blood red patterns. With curiosity, White Mist approached the wall. He boldly touched the bloodstains on the wall. The blood and patterns looked fresh, as if they were made recently. He asked Bereal's eye, do you see anything? But he got a sassy no. But I can tell you those bloodstains and files are from 2 days ago. But on Wang Shi's side with so many rooms, he has no idea where to begin. Wu Jiayu turned to Bai Wu. What do you think? Bai Wu suggested that searching the rooms one by one might give you some of the info you need. But the biggest secret's in building 4. Lin More you joked, new guy whatever you say goes. What you mean by deepest secret? Bai Wu sighed, I'm only saying this once. Next time, just trust me. Lian Shu and noticed Bai Wu's bossy side. Wu Jiayu didn't mind and let him continue. Bai Wu explained just now. Everyone noticed the front building among the 4 has entry and exit points. If a patient in the last building needs treatment, must move from the 19th floor through previous buildings, and finally reach the first building. Then they must arrive at a specific level on the 19th floor. It doesn't seem designed for rescuing at all, as 59 also discovered. This hospital structure is definitely abnormal. White Mist continued, saying this place is more like a prison. If the only exit is guarded, there's no escape for prisoners. It's clear that the 4th building holds the hospital's core secret. Just then Xiaoyi pointed shakily at the elevator and said, Captain, the elevator moved on its own and the indicator light above the door lit up. 59 ordered to be on alert for battle. Xiang Xiaoyi's hair stood up a bit and he smiled. Looks like we don't need to search shamelessly. Bai Wu wondered, asking Captain 59 why the world outside had been abandoned for 700 years. These city buildings should be abandoned, so why are the systems still working? 59 didn't know either. We've seen places like the amusement park where the carousel sometimes ran by itself. The Ferris wheel also spins on its own. Things just work differently beyond the tower. It's more than just space that changes. Bai Wu stopped obsessing over the unexplainable. Maybe we'll only get answers on the 6th floor. The elevator stopped as soon as the number hit 1. When the elevator door opened, Wang Shi quickly pulled back Xiang Xiaoyi, whose face was beaming. As the elevator doors creaked open, a grotesque and misshapen monster came into view. The creature had a humanoid form and a head with a mouth resembling a mosquito's proboscis. A man, cold and needle-like, naturally lacked emotional empathy. Facing the corpse of an evil drone, he wasn't afraid but examined it closely. Moments ago, a humanoid evil drone had forced open the elevator doors. It then attacked the nearest target, which happened to be Wu Jiayu. Unfazed, he calmly drew his longsword. A gust of wind rushed past as Wu Jiayu swiftly decapitated the evil drone. Head rolled toward White Mist. Evil drones must die. Item carries spirit attachment, LVL-19D. It breaks defense and weakens the evil drones on contact. But this effect is quite weak. For heavily mutated evil drones, it's all about the wielder's skill. White Mist remembered 59 survived 24 days outside the tower. The knife gained spirit attachment on the 5th day. Meanwhile, 59, Wang Shi and others headed to the elevator. But White Mist didn't rush to follow, he examined the evil drones instead. He picked its head up off the ground. Then he calmly placed it back on the neck. The evil drone's neck had cracked skin, and its mouth had mutated into a sharp, needle-like proboscis. Though it still had 4 limbs, its hands were more like claws. Baiwu rests the evil drone's lower body, and P-Rails I quipped, "Whoa, stripping it already? Even if the evil drone doesn't have rights, isn't this over the top?" Baiwu touched the creature again. There were no bumps or indents, it seemed to have lost unnecessary features. In his search, Baiwu surprisingly found an Irie page in the pocket. Tricked into coming here due to his massive debt. All he can think about is escaping. He feared becoming the woman on the 11th floor, terrified of being moved to the 2nd building. Baiwu deduced from the torn and creased corners that it was from July 5, 2026. It was ripped out and hidden by the patient when the doctor grabbed the diary. How long is it from 2026 to the Haidar era? 700 for years. Is there some rule protecting items in this world like this diary page? It seems undamaged even after 700 years. Linwar Ou snapped, "Hurry up, rookie. We're all waiting." Baiwu stepped into the elevator and said, "Let's head to the 11th floor. Everyone's waiting on you." 5-9 was puzzled. Why the 11th floor? Baiwu pulled out the diary page. The next few buildings might be more dangerous than we expect. There's a stronger evil drone hidden on the 11th floor than anyone anticipated. It might help us uncover mysteries and gather useful information. He pressed the button for the 11th floor. Linwar Ou scoffed. "It's just a white area. How dangerous could it really be?" Baiwu chuckled. "You'll be safe if you don't enter the hospital, but I'd still suggest you be careful in." The elevator reached the 11th floor, showing a pitch-black corridor. As they exited the elevator, a sudden sound from nearby sent a chill down their spines. That eerie, chilling laugh echoed yee-hee. "Are you here to play with me?" "I'm right here." The voice was filled with longing and sorrow. It sounded like a whisper. Baiwu analyzed, noting it resembled a girl's voice. It also like an adult's like voices of different ages and emotions weaving together. At that moment, a pitch-black and known liquid started seeping from the ceiling, dripping straight onto Yin Shuang's shoulder. As he glanced up, a long pitch-black arm reached out for Yin Shun. At the last second, 59 appeared and sliced the arm with one strike. He chuckled softly, "Stick on," but before he finished, many black hands emerged from the ceiling. "Looks like someone's emotions drew this thing here. And this thing isn't weak, your captain couldn't even take it out in one strike." Linwar Ou's watch read 11, while Wang Shi's showed 9. Xiang Xiaoyu was excited, his watch showed 7. Yin Shun, who was the most emotional, his watch showed 21. 59 kept slashing madly, but the hands were endless. Glancing at his watch displaying a 3, he advised, "Let's wrap this up quickly and not overdo it," he said as White Mist stood alone in the corridor. It seemed like the evil drone with its incessantly reaching hands was ignoring him. He glanced at the 0 on his watch, yawned, and said he was bored enough to fall asleep. Fall asleep. Despite being only 159 meters tall, the man could cut down the evil drone with a single strike. This encounter with the evil drone seemed rare, it just wouldn't go down, no matter how he slashed. The team was strong, though responding quickly. Linwar Ou was very occupied. He was overwhelmed but surprised to see that this inexperienced rookie wasn't even attacked by the evil drones. White Mist rubbed his eyes, realizing the little girl's voice could sway emotions. "But I'm feeling a bit sleepy," which surprised Zhao Yi. He was stunned. This is really something else. The watch is reading his euro. Baiwu couldn't stay idle. "You keep at it, I'll scout ahead." But 59 advised him not to stray. "We're nearly set, let's move together," Baiwu said, glancing at the ceiling. He said, "Hard to say. Until you're calm, these hands might keep coming." He waved, not looking back, and walked toward the exit. "I might find the source, just catch up to me later." Wei Shi was at a loss. "Captain, where'd you find this guy?" "He's got guts," 59 said, frowning. "If his emotional level is in the single digits, he might be naturally brave, but if it's at 0, either the emotional sensor is malfunctioning, or there's something wrong." On this side of the White Mist, he pushed through resistance and stepped into the gloomy room. The mist focused its gaze on a dog cage with powerful spirit energy, which perfectly served its role as a prison. The poor creature never managed to escape the cage until someone eventually freed it. If the cage could apologize, it would. The mist gaze then settled on the mirror stand, revealing the chain as another spirit-laden artifact. Scattered on the floor were numerous discarded syringes, once filled with a mix of sedatives and the serums of mysterious substances. He glanced around again, but P-Rails I warned him to focus his gaze. The documents were destroyed, and the house owner was absorbed by the creature. "Now focus your attention on this table that held many secret items, one of the few scenes in the creature's sight. It wasn't destroyed, instead it was left as a choice for future arrivals. These 3 items offer you 3 things. 1. A talent sequence. 2. Its friendship. 3. Its hatred. Choose wisely. Choose one, and the other two will vanish. This dossier holds many details that you and the little want to learn. But when it sees it, will it bring you friendship or hatred? As for the talent, you'll have to figure it out yourself." This key isn't for the cage. It can unlock a crucial lock, perhaps it's a shortcut. Or it might lead to an abyss. After reading P-Rail's eye notes, Bai Wu was lost in thought. Continued in the previous entry, into deep contemplation. The files contain items of great interest to both 59 and me. That should be the true history, or clues related to it might be found here. The comb offers no hints, which itself is noteworthy. If it matches a specific door, perhaps behind it lies crucial clues. As he hesitated, P-Rail's gave a warning. The best fate would grant you a new talent sequence upon meeting the evil drones. A decent fortune means goodwill from the evil drones, while a bad fortune means being hunted down by them. Just as he stepped inside at that moment, the door mysteriously shut by itself. Now Whitemas has to decide. From what's been seen so far, it's likely the 2 rooms at the corridors in our labs. Besides what remains, many tools once filled the lab, but they've all been destroyed. Experiment subjects work aged and constantly watched. The experiments involved injecting a specific reagent to observe reactions possibly linked to the evil drones. During this, subjects were visited or mentally linked. Back then, its mind probably wasn't driven by resentment. Whitemas based his inference on the info left by the first floor evil drone. Before the first floor creature became an evil drone, probably hadn't seen it. The facility definitely wouldn't let these creatures meet, yet the note clearly mentioned this experiment. Maybe it communicated with others telepathically. This was obviously a secret shared with other basement subjects. The evil drone feared being moved to the second building. It turned out it was indeed transferred. This suggests the second building's evil drones are stronger than the first's. They can at least perform a spirit attack or possess some form of superpower. Then, they'll all move to the second building. Meanwhile, the 5 outside, caught by the evil drones, finally calmed down. Linhwa Ou and the others reached the door, calling out, "Bai Wu, how's the investigation going? Why is the door still stuck? Why isn't that kid responding? Captain, you think he could be dead in there?" As the man tried to enter the room, black arms suddenly surged from beneath. Just then, 5-9 appeared behind Linhwa Ou and slashed through the black arms. But the sudden turn of events shook everyone once more. Countless black arms surged up swiftly. Meanwhile, Bai Wu's gaze was fixed on a comb devoid of any clues. The note on the first floor confirms the test subject is female. But how would a comb be used in this environment? Bai Wu hesitantly asks P-Rail's eye again, "Are you sure there's no information on this comb?" P-Rail's eye confirms. The comb holds no information, and meanwhile, Yin Shun is attracting the evil drones that attack the most. Her watch shows 72's Wang. She charges against the malice. Why has the malevolence suddenly intensified? Is the evil drone approaching? Linhwa Ou asks Bai Wu. Inside the house, he encountered the main form and immediately asked Shang Xiaoyi to detect its presence. While he should look at evil drones, Shang Xiaoyi manically laughs, face twisted with excitement. Unaware of dialogue, 59 places his hand on the sword sheath, ready to charge. "I'll clear a path," he declares. "Get him out, then fall back." In the next moment, his already incredible speed increased yet again. But suddenly, the doorknob began to turn. Wu Jiayu, sprinting at full speed, was forced to stop abruptly. At that moment, the black arms behind vanished, and Bai Wu calmly emerged from the lab as everyone anxiously scolded him for not confirming he was all right. Bai Wu played with the horn comb and said, "Sorry for the wait, let's head to the 19th floor." Shang Xiaoyi, his fervor fading, asked, "Why did the resentment vanish?" Linhwa Ou in disbelief asked, "Did you deal with the evil drones inside?" Bai Wu mentioned he temporarily suppressed the source and they might face them again. "Let's go, nothing here." Bai Wu took the lead, heading towards the elevator. The group members looked uneasy, especially Linhwa Ou, who tossed hair and scoffed. Wang Shi was relieved to see everyone safe, while Xiaoyi seemed to want more action. Meanwhile, Yin Shu steadily calmed her breathing to lower her watch's readings. As the elevator ascended again, Bai Wu spoke up, "Captain, I have a question. Are evil drones formed from humans? Could staying outside the tower turn us into evil drones too? Is that true?" But as soon as he finished speaking, the whole team turned to look, falling into a brief silence. 59 explained, "Did you see your watch? The danger line. It said it's 75. The watch maxes out at 300. You noticed the dial color, right? The dial is green up to 75 and turns orange. At 175 the dial turns red and 59 stopped there." The elevator had reached the 19th floor. Even though 59 didn't finish, Bai Wu knew the answer. Excess negative emotions can push into this range, risking an evil drone transformation. In extreme anger, a person can be as dangerous as an evil drone. This was the corridor on the 19th floor of the hospital. Now it's a dining area, its windows sealed. It was dark inside, so 59 turned on a spotlight to search the area. Xiaoyi glowed with blue light and quickly sensed sinister creatures outside the door, and they were at a higher level than the ones we dealt with before. 59 cut us off before we finished, telling him to stand his ground. He drew his long knife and slowly pushed open the dining area's door. The 2 creatures closest to the door sensed movement and turned around. Curious, Bai Wu asked the captain, "Is he always like this? Wang Shi nodded. Even though I'm the vanguard, the captain always takes the lead. But don't worry, the captain hasn't encountered a creature he couldn't handle yet. But the captain always manages to stay unscathed. Meanwhile, Wu Jiao had already defeated the Elder Evil. Afterwards, Bai Wu noticed that Wu Jiao was much faster than the others. Bai Wu then asked Wang Shi how their inherent power develops. Is everyone's different? Wang Shi said it's the same, but each level up grants new abilities. The Eye of Prey earlier pointed out it enhances your strengths. It's like video game skill points. Wang Shi focuses on attack and vitality. Linhua Ou balances between attack and speed. Xiang Xiaoyi boosts perception and attack, but Yin Shun remains a mystery even to the Eye of Prey LER. But she's certainly the weakest in the team. Survival isn't the focus. The team except Wang Shi attacks recklessly. This is dangerously reckless. Who goes without any healing supplies? White Mist quickly realized Wu Jiayu had already taken out all the Elder Evils, watching as she moved. Beneath her, the grade 3 mutants had sickle-like arms that could slice metal. These arms can cut through metal and serve as the 9th Hospital's guard. After devouring the director, they only follow Little Pitiful's orders. Before entering the second building, White Mist thought, Captain, wait. The Elder Evils in the first building are no match for you, provided we keep our emotions in check. Then the Elder Evils in the second building won't detect us. The longer we endure outside the tower, the faster inherent power develops. Why not stay longer in the first building? Linhua Ou chuckled. That's why they call you a newbie. Every 4 hours outside the tower, we were affected by various hindrances like slowed speed, dulled senses, intensified emotional swings, hallucinations, reduced attack power, lower Elder Evil resistance, like dark sensitivity. Too many negative effects to list. The obstacles appear in a random order. Now's the IW you understood. It debuff occurs every 4 hours. So there's no way to hold back time for leveling up. Ye Wu now understands Wu Jiao's strength. Staying alone in the blue zone for 24 days causes 6 daily debuffs. With over 100 debuffs you can. Bai Wu can face the Elder Evil reach the corridor's midpoint. A note appeared, don't bypass the second building. You need to get the key from the second building's basement. Otherwise you can't reach the third building even if you get through the corridor. A critter swallowed the key. You can brute force your way with the dwarf, but I recommend using the cone. It unlocks bigger rewards. Meanwhile, in a shadowy corner, an eerie voice whispered, welcome to my arena. This lamp, Medusa's lamp, has petrification and slowing effects. All non-humans exposed to the light will have their spirit level slowed. Though the light isn't strong, it's enough to highlight the top floor of Building 2. Yinshu asked if we could skip the lower floors and go straight to the skywalk at the top. Bai Wu agreed that the skywalk from Building 2 leads to Buildings 3 and 4. The key to Building 3 is here. Don't mistake it for something else. In the white area, Wang Shi wondered how you knew the key to Building 3 was here. Being careful is good, but shouldn't we check the other side? Meanwhile, Wu Jiayu, leading the way, stopped. He touched the air wall and realized the doorway to Building 3 was indestructible. The outside tower rules are bizarre and most scenes can be damaged. Key locations can't be dismantled, no matter the power. Meanwhile, Xiang Xiaoyu is desperately trying. No matter how you press the elevator button, it doesn't respond. This building is odd. The owner refused to install an elevator. So the building pretends to have an elevator. And take a look at the sign above the elevator. It's not 19, it's 0. The level below is -1. You may not understand Feng Shui, but you definitely know. This reflects the 18 levels of hell considered very unlucky. And your target is located in the deepest part of hell. You can't reach it directly, you have to descend each level with no elevator. This means more exploration time, but oddly, they only went down 1 flight to a corner. There are no more stairs. 5-9 thinks the stairs down should be at the end of the hall. This structure forces you to go through each floor's corridor to get to the next one. Linhua, you realize that after descending from the 19th floor they were on the basement level. And did you notice? There's no light here at all. Without the captain's spotlight, it's nearly pitch black. The area contains scattered Elder Evil remains but no whole bodies. It's as if something had chewed on them. It feels like someone's been conducting insane experiments here. Xiang Xiaoyi feigned nervousness. Captain, as soon as I came downstairs, I sensed an Elder Evil closing in on us. I've never encountered an aura like this, it's terrifying. Wang Shi believes the target is on a lower floor because we can sense it, which proves it can sense us too. Bai Wu stopped in front of the 12th house, and the Eye of Prey are instantly displayed a strange note. I may be your cutie, but with the camera, your view gets sharper. We're both your wings helping you soar without bounds. It's admirable, but are you sure you want to give up the camera? Bai Wu thought for a moment and suddenly realized the camera might be spirit-infused. Bai Wu pulled out an ordinary camera from the backpack, only to be ridiculed by Linhua Ou. Ignorant kid, let me tell you what can really be spirit-infused. Items are rare, leading the tower 100 times might still not succeed once. Newcomers don't bring too much, it will burden you in an escape. Bai Wu ignored him, noticed camera's annotation, wow, new spirit infusion direction. Its spirit infusion direction is unexpected, but it can still help you. Staying outside the tower might unlock more of its functions. Now silently recite 20 trillion to 170 billion 702 million 141,525 and point it at cell 12. There's a surprise though. It can only be used twice in 7 A's. Baiwu speculated the numbers are clearly a date July 2, 27 at 1425. The camera flash startled Wang Shi. He froze. All tech fails outside the tower. The camera working means it's been spirit infused, Lin War-ou scoffed. What can a single photo tell us? Baiwu saw the photo and realized the camera captures images from the past. A boy is centered in the frame. He's glaring at the camera with a terrifying look. Baiwu questioned as soon as he saw the photo. Captain, do high-level elder evils have intelligence? You said some elder evils keep human rates like language. If you were less elder evils and more like evolve S. Baiwu suggested the boy might be the lowest level's guardian. The captain thinks it might be a height elder evil. We didn't see any elder evils on the way, probably because this one ate them all. Just then a gigantic spider suddenly growled overhead with half a human body stuck in its head. 59 gripped his sword and yelled, "High T elder evil. Prepare for battle." He leapt forward slashing at the elder evil, but it simply leaned back, dodging easily. After dodging, it raised its scythe-like claw and smashed it down onto the floor with force. In an instant, it shattered a large section of the floor right in front of it. Wang Shi saw the floor about to collapse and yelled in alarm. Yin Shu and others retreated, but Baiwu fell, shouting, "Oh no! We're doomed! You can't fight at all, and we're about to crash." At the critical moment, Wu Jiayu jumped down without hesitation. He reached out shouting, "Baiwu, grab my hand." Before everyone's eyes, they both fell together. Baiwu fainted. Amidst the ruins, the eye of Prey Elior flashed a message. The enemy's near, and he's just lying there snoozing. Still thinking about sleeping? Finally, Baiwu slowly got up. "My brother, you're finally up. Do you realize if you kept sleeping, we'd be dead? If Wu Jiayu hadn't saved you, we'd both be toast." 5-9 is exploring the area, and I just checked it out myself. This is the bottom floor, and it's cleared differently than the upper levels. It's essentially bare with only the necessary low-lying pillars remaining. Oh, check this out. From what I've seen, there have been fights here with over 10 types of elder evil. But the walls? Around the number 12, there are no marks as if they were deliberately avoided. I think the weirdness here ties to the number 12. Trust the captain to spot it fast. He's known as the 12th disciple for his strong beliefs. That's why he likes this number. After reading the Eye of Prael Er, Baiwu pondered deeply. Is it the 12th disciple? That implies there's a mentor involved? The structure is unstable. Watch your head. White Mist turned to see a metal box on the ceiling. Suddenly, it fell. Did something from upstairs drop? 5-9 asked. This building isn't as sturdy as it seems. White Mist examined it closely. On closer inspection, it turned out to be a door labeled level 17, number 12. After defeating the Spider Woman on level 16, I can now control them. Now I am in full power and have 23 followers. Slaves. They're all my trump cards, 23 in total. Can you kill me in an instant? Can you? I swallowed the key to the third building on the spot. White Mist chuckled, daring to make a move. The battle's outcome was certain. What's noted is not the cell's details, but the thoughts of the elder evil residing there. Could disciple number 12 be the one in the photo? White Mist closed its eyes to rethink. According to the diary it found earlier, the asylum incident happened. In 2026, humans supposedly hadn't yet entered the tower. Even 5-9 and others seemed unaware of Predar history. A scene quickly played out in his mind. Most levels of the 12th hell and the sub-basement are both a prison and an arena. This place once steamed with monsters. Some were artificially created. Others were delivered by a masked stranger from the city. They fight fiercely, and the most powerful monsters advance to the next level. The AI pushed open the door, and fighting monsters made this hospital feel eerie. It feels like a blend of the private era and the dawn of the tower era. The notes on the doors confirm my suspicions. On sublevel 3, section 12, devoured Grohl. Death premonition proved valuable. The AI prepares to head to level 4, hoping to encounter intriguing characters. Doors to each level line both sides of sublevel 4, section 12. I won't die, I've dodged every death I foresaw. The food here is terrible. These guys aren't even worth eating. Finally found an interesting opponent on sublevel 6. Out of respect, I'll devour it all. No one can match me now, even the director is afraid. The dean is also afraid. Yet, I remain docile. I'll feign submission until I've devoured every monster. I've proven to be the strongest. I'm drifting further from the light. But as I get closer to the truth, I'm on the brink of becoming a perfected form when I emerge. I will become the teacher's ultimate weapon and break that tower. Level B for T, number 12, no way, how could I lose? She's just a nobody from the first building. How could she match a genius like me? They'll crush her. In the white mist, she realized the turning point was on floor B14. It appears the unfortunate from 11th floor, Building 1, was moved to Building 2's hospital. They aim to create an ultimate monster, and this 12th disciple battle to reach level 14. In the end, the winning streak temporarily shifted from Building 1. Has the poor little one been finished off? The final boss from the 4th building once beat the 12 disciples of the 2nd. Intriguing number 12's got just one hand on 4 minus 15. 2 hands, 3, 4, 5, 6 hands. 7, 8 hands, alright, too many to count. Let's skip the details. White Mist speculates that this is one of the poor one's attacks with resentment turning into arms. The walls and doors here are intact, probably because the fight ended quickly. White Mist gives a dry laugh. With a smile, these 12 disciples must have been beaten into despair. This mischievous one from the 2nd building, once arrogant, has met a truly terrifying opponent. It was a defeat as crushing as the one in room 12 on the 16th floor. So it's not that I'm weak. I just haven't absorbed enough power yet. There are many intriguing things on the 16th floor. With them, I can beat her. Because my suffering is greater than hers. The AI would thought this kid is just stuck in a teenage fantasy. His words perfectly fit his wild expression. Considering room 12 on the 17th floor, the notes on the door revealed the poor 12th disciple lost to that kid again, shattering his confidence. Then the kid who beat him here might be moved to a deeper part of the building. So the poor child became a persistent shadow in his mind. And he hasn't even had the chance to really show his skills to the teacher. White Mist then said to 5-9. Captain, I now understand 12 refers to the 12th high-level mutation. The Elder Evil spider we just encountered. Remember that photo? The Elder Evil is what the boy in the picture became. This hospital was once a facility for researching and creating these advanced Elder Evils. The Elder Evils fought and devoured each other here. That's why the upper floors are covered with so many Elder Evil corpses. The 2nd building was an arena for testing Elder Evils. 5-9 continued. So were well high mutation Elder Evils created here? White Mist replied, at least 12. The Eye of Prey Ellie are displayed more info. No, it should say, Elijah's revered teacher commanded at least 12 high mutation Elder Evils. And it wasn't here. That teacher seems to be planning something big, which worries 59. This is bad. Wang Shi's group can't handle high mutation Elder Evils alone. We need to join them fast. Check around for a way up. Meanwhile, a high mutation Elder Evil watches them secretly from above. 59 felt killing intent approaching and handed Medusa's lamp to White Mist. Then he placed his hand on the scabbard, surprised it came this quickly. Looks like we have to postpone the meeting. They're close on our tail. In the darkness, countless eerie eyes watched them stealthily. 59 told Mist to stay alert and not stray too close or too far. Try using the Medusa's lamp to halt its movements. But don't get your hopes up, it's barely effective on higher elders. The Eye of Prey Ellie are displayed in note just then. The Medusa's lamp isn't very effective on these behemoths, it might just slow them down. That's about it. Plus, those aren't your typical Elder Evils, calling them that might even be inaccurate. If we have to explain, it's something that used to be an Elder Evil. At this moment, one of the high-level Elder Evil's hand started to harden, forming an iron fist, about to come crashing down on Wu Jiayu and Biaiwu. In a flash, Wu Jiayu drew his sword, leapt up, and shattered the stone-like arm into fragments. Before the Elder Evil could react, Wu Jiayu activated Talon Sequence Shadow Speed, accelerating again. Accelerated. Sword flashes and after images filled the air, quickly shredding the Elder Evil. A Shadow Speed, blinding speed producing clones. Even a high-level Elder Evil couldn't match him. Also, don't believe it's okay to let the little guy fight alone due to their lack of emotions. These are not ordinary Elder Evils. After checking the Eye of Prey Eliar's notes, BAI will realize they were devoured by the 12th Apostle. Those Elder Evils, and also noticed their severed limbs were melted. Now they're just products of that delusional one's imagination or summoned creatures. However, it's more like a basic response rather than reacting to emotional shifts. Like a reflexive action of an automaton, especially since their bodies shouldn't even exist. They're just monsters recreated by that person. White Mist crouched by, examining the severed limb of an Elder Evil. The Eye of Prey ER warned him were 3 Elder Evils present, suggesting he should immediately dodge. White Mist, spotting the note, quickly glanced back. An advanced Elder Evil, shimmering in green, suddenly launched an attack. White Mist dashed forward, clutching Medusa's lamp. After putting distance, he raised Medusa's lamp at the Elder Evil, but it showed no change. The petrification had no effect. Seeing this, Baiwu swiftly crouched and skillfully avoided the Elder Evil's attack. But then the Elder Evil abruptly halted. A faint glow enveloped it, revealing its rare mutation Angel Perception after seconds. 59 swung the blade immediately, but the Elder Evil leapt back. Though it dodged 59's lethal strike, a shallow crack marked its body. The wounded Elder Evil swiftly retreated, disappearing into the shadows. 59 lamented, I should have struck harder. Baiwu said, Captain, you handle the big one, I'll deal with this one. 59 asked, uncertain, are you sure? Baiwu replied, I've got a way to handle this guy. I can't take on that big one without the right weapon. This high-level Elder Evil can teleport, making its arm vanish instantly, replaced by a swirling vortex. Then, the Eye of Praelia signals an overhead RA-wide attack. It advises quick dodging, and 5-9 gets it, but there's no time for words. He swiftly grabs Bai Wu by the collar, tossing him away just before the Elder Evil's massive fist crashes down onto the open ground. Bai Wu realizes the use of teleportation, another pesky ability. At the same time, the Elder Evil chains a teleportation move, shifting all its limbs above 5-9 to strike, but he's incredibly fast. Amazingly, he charges at the Elder Evil, dodging every attack. Wu Jie stomped down and launched into a triple jump, drawing his long sword Midre. Charging at the Elder Evil's head, Wu Jie coldly declared, "Quit scattering your filthy chunks everywhere," he snapped. Wu Jie thrust his sword forward, but the Elder Evil's body melted away like liquid. Soon after, it slowly reformed its body. An entry about the spatial Elder Evil, flesh weakness Corias, appeared before Zumi's eyes. But what troubled him more now was the elusive Elder Evil that kept roaming without showing itself. Minutes later, the Eye of Praelia warned of an impending rear attack. It advised a sidestep, and Bai Wu followed, puzzled by its persistent targeting. Could there be something on me that's setting it off? You got it. You're quick, just like always. White Mist glanced at Medusa's lamp, concluding this must be what the stalker fears. There's no other choice. You're right. But how do you plan to win? White Mist chuckled after checking the Eye of Praelia's data. Laughing, he called out to 5-9, who stopped in his tracks. White Mist hurled Medusa's lamp, shouting, "Aim for the eyes." 5-9 instantly caught on and sliced the Medusa's lamp with one swift flash. It burst into a dazzling light. The whole area lit up, pushing back the darkness. White Mist grinned and seen. Stealth operative's greatest fear is light. The best place to hide is right in the shadow beneath the light. 10 minutes ago, Wang Shi took on the giant spider's claw attack. At the same time, Xiao Yi and Yin Shu attacked from both sides of the giant spider. Just as Xiao Yi believed he could defeat it with a single strike, the giant spider spread its limbs, its tough shell effortlessly blocking Xiao Yi's fierce blow. It instantly shot a massive web from its mouth. Caught off guard, Yin Shuang's mind went completely blank. At the last moment, a whip wrapped around her waist and pulled her to safety. Lin Wu advised, "Watch out for the webs." Shang Xiao Yi quipped, "You're leaving me high and dry." Lin Wu shrugged, "Don't worry, you'll be fine." As they talked, Lin Wu felt a threat. The giant spider had somehow crept behind him. Luckily, Wang Shi leapt in to block the claw in time, breaking one of the spider's legs in the process. Elijah snapped, "You really think just a few of you can defeat me at full strength so quickly?" Its snake-like arm started to slither slowly. The arm suddenly stretched, striking Wang Shilin over 10 meters away. Wu quickly lashed out a whip to seize control of the arm. Then, Xiang Xiao Yi and Yin Shu sprang into action together. Elias's arm was sliced off in an instant, but before anyone could celebrate, they were struck dumb by the unfolding scene. Incredibly, Elias Ray grew a whole new arm at the severed spot. Given just a moment, it can keep regenerating. Elias then flashed a chilling smile. Next, it split open the spider-like abdomen behind it. Instantly, several bizarre cocoon-like pods shot out. Lin Wu broke into a cold sweat. Damn it, the captain's not here. Meanwhile, the odd cocoons began to burst open, spilling fluid and several grotesque advanced Elder Evils. Everyone froze, now up against 3 more advanced Elder Evils. 5-9 shattered Medusa's lamp, lighting up the area and triggering Evil's response. In a flash, the Elder Evil surfaced, with 5-9 right in the center of the light. This made him its prime target. 5-9 Shadow Burst activated again, instantly boosting his speed. 5-9 swiftly struck down the camouflaging Elder Evil and noticed the weakness of this teleporting Elder Evil must be its eye, right? 5-9 plunged his blade into the Elder Evil's eye. The Eye of Praelia jaunted at White Fog. "You're ruthless. Take down the little guy." 5-9 said coldly. "White Fog just now. Without me, the others might not have reacted in time." White Fog replied, "Ando fool. I was decisive because it was you." Wu Jie shifted the topic. "Let's drop it. These eldritch creatures are strange. They leave no corpse behind after death." Bai Wu explains, "Not turning completely to dust, it's more like cobwebs. These are probably just abilities of the spider-like eldritch from upstairs. They don't qualify as true eldritch creatures. This is bad. We need to quickly go up and join them." After defeating the eldritch, they discussed regrouping with the team. The Eye of Praelia warned of a level 6 eldritch rapidly approaching from above. Lin Wu and others, chased by advanced eldritch, fled to a collapsed floor. He looked up calmly through the white mist below. He told 5-9 calmly, "They're here." In an instant, the four descended from the sky, drawing the 4 Elder Evils, chasing them down as well. Meanwhile, 5-9 vanished instantly. His talent sequence Extreme Shadow activated again and sped toward Lin Wu and Wang Shi. Lin Wu instinctively flicked her whip towards 5-9. She swung him towards Wang Shi, who was the last to jump. 5-9 stepped on Wang Shi's arm, instantly regaining his momentum. He charged at the four elder evils. At this moment, 5-9 slowly, and she did his long's work with incredible speed. Only glimpses of shadows flicker between the four elder evils. In the blink of an eye, the trailing elder evil was slashed to bits. Their seamless relay and perfect coordination are breathtaking. Wu Jiayu finished and landed smoothly on the upper floor. He noticed cobwebs, a sign that the elder evils were just summoned. Suddenly, a terrifying face loomed behind him. So, you're their leader. He spun around and swung at Elijah in an instant. Wang Shi yelled, "Watch out, Captain. This one's strong." With the power of a fifth tier elder evil, Elijah only got more excited. "I said they were so weak, they aren't even worthy of being my toys. However, your strength is impressive," yet 59 remained completely calm. He charged forward, stamping the ground, weaving between the spider's claws with a spirit-infused sword. Finally, under Elijah's stunned gaze, he cut it down with one stroke. After its entire arm was severed, a torrent of purple blood gushed out. Yet, instead of showing pain, it actually smiled. Elijah grabbed 59's ankle and slammed him to the floor using mutant blade style slash. Corrode with iron acid, bind with spider silk, infiltrate with toxins, stretch limbs, act swiftly. 59, thrown in spitting blood, never suffered such a defeat in the White's own. Elijah's severed arm healed quickly, showing the rare mutation, monstrous strength. 59's limb regeneration, perfect blocking, mutant abilities, and life sense. He's incredibly strong, going several rounds against Elijah. No, they're actually ahead. Way strong. Should we have 59 power through this? But let me remind you. Killing it by other means than our little friend will make this arrogant and insecure creature. Drop a talent sequence you probably won't like. 59 kept cutting off Elijah's spider legs. 59 was forced back by a powerful blow, seeing teammates coming forward to help. He said coldly, "I'm fine, stay back," before continuing on. Just then, Bai Wu took a determined steps forward. "Captain, wait. Let me take care of it." Then, shockingly, Bai Wu boldly walked straight up to the level 6 Elder Evil. His teammates shouted, trying to be a hero, "Death Wish? Don't you know your limits?" Captain Wu Jiayu then grabbed and stopped him. "Lin War Oyu's right, everyone get ready for battle." Bai Wu, step back. But Bai Wu pushed Wu Jiayu's sword down. "Captain, trust me on this. Let me handle it." He then turned to the group, "Stay put. Stay silent. Act indifferent like the captain always does." Wu Jiayu suddenly felt all eyes on him, snapping, "What are you staring at?" Everyone quickly averted their gazes. "I will caution, don't make a move until the Elder Evil does." With that, he walked toward Elijah. He remained unfazed by the Elder Evil, a creature assembled from various monsters. Elijah gave a wicked grin. "Are you my next opponent? It doesn't matter, you're all the same." "Food from the tower," he sneered, then directed his gigantic spider claw to impale the ground beside Bai-Wu. Then his arm like a serpent darted forward. He ensnared the powerless Bai-Wu, yet Bai-Wu managed an enigmatic smile. "I'm not from the tower," Bai-Wu said as Elijah's eyes widened. The arm ripping through the white mist suddenly stopped. The white mist smiled softly. "Don't you remember? You're my most cherished creation. You're a masterpiece, the most obedient of all my creations." Elijah instinctively released his serpent-like grip as he spoke. His spider-like claws retreated at the same moment. Confusion and astonishment filled Elijah's purple eyes. In a halting voice, he said, "You can't be the teacher." Elijah stared at the white mist. Searching for some expected reaction in the other's eyes, the mist chuckled. "Just joking, don't take it seriously. You're just a failed prototype." As a top Elder Evil, Elijah faced the man with no trace of fear. Elijah's head felt like it would explode. "You're not the teacher, you can't be. If the teacher's alive, then why hasn't he come to see me all this time?" Those hiding were puzzled how just a few words from white mist could cause the Elder Evil to mentally collapse. Even Wu Jin was confused. Clueless, suspecting white mist learned from the previous case. But what's with this strong sense of an unseen hand manipulating everything? ZIWU tapped the spider claw beside him, his toning with disappointment. "Poor thing, you thought I was dead, that's why I wouldn't visit. Maybe I should have to remind myself of my own failures compared to the hospital's half-finished product. They're even worse than that. Failure." Elijah, a level 6 distorted Elder Evil, is a composite of monsters. Now confronted by a defenseless white mist, he couldn't hold back his tears. Using the intelligence gathered, white mist impersonated its teacher, Elijah. "I can't bear it. You are the blemish in my flawless career." These words seemed to cut deep into Elijah's heart. Its surprise quickly turned into fear. It tried to justify itself. "It's not like that. I am your perfect creation." White mist squinted, knowing its words hit home. The eye of prey Ellie quipped. "You have a knack for hitting where it hurts. Your nature is truly vile." Jumping off Elijah, white mist began to walk away. "I left you here for a reason. Because here you can find things to hone your skills. You've greatly disappointed me." Bai Wu turned and glared. "Are you afraid to face the girl from the 4th building? In the end, I have to clean up the mess. You're not just useless, you've caused me trouble." Meanwhile, Xiang Xiaoyi told Lin Warner. said, "Hey, about this white zone, is it really Bai Wu's first time here? Why does it seem like he understands the elder evil like he can see right through it?" Lin Warner felt overwhelmed. "Hold on, that's too much info. It's too much, let me take a moment." Bai Wu kept pressuring. "Elijah, your failure is hard for me to accept. To this day, the tower still stands. I created many like you, yet each one surpasses you. And they've all completed my asks flawlessly. Number 12. Number 12, you'll always be my flaw." Elijah broke down, sobbing. "I'm sorry, teacher. Please give me another chance. I'm not a failure. Not the Eye of Prey LER." A dialogue box popped up, complicating matters. "You've completely broken the poor child's spirit. I'm curious how you so precisely mimic a supposed teacher's character and tone." "We have no info on that, teacher." White Miss thought I was imitating. "It was just my father. I figured it out from the notes on the previous door." Arrogance, insecurity, loyalty, lack of love define Elijah's personality. Notes from the 9th and 13th floors mention Elijah's references the hospital and teacher. This child is merely feigning obedience to the hospital authorities, while being fanatically devoted to the teacher. He frankly wants to become the teacher's weapon. The elder evil in this hospital is split into two factions: 9 psychiatric authorities, and the other is Elijah's enigmatic teacher who brought him here. Because Elijah can grow stronger by consuming elder evils. Thus the mysterious teacher intended Elijah to pose as one of the hospital's elder evils, deceiving the authorities while secretly consuming their elder evils. Although evolution was the goal, it's unfortunate that the institution created a more terrifying monster, none other than the pitiful kid from the 11th floor. And it directly defeated Elijah 3 times consecutively. Elijah, deeply insecure, resigned himself to being a failure. "I have a feeling I'll face off with Elijah's teacher somewhere. Now that's pure evil." With this thought, White Miss pulled a comb from his pocket. Elijah recognized the comb and burst out, "Teacher, did you really deal with her?" With a gentle smile, White Miss said, "My perfect plan came to an unexpected. And because of you, but I haven't given up on you. So I decided to search for you. I know you won't let me down again." This made Elijah determined to earn back the teacher's trust. "Please give me another chance, teacher. I promise to fulfill your task." Bai Wu explained that to create the perfect form, a part of your body is needed. You know, half of an artwork's value in museums comes from its craftsmanship. The other half lies in the history and stories behind them. It's the latter that grants them eternity. I want to give you the same eternity, making them a part of you. This brings you closer to becoming complete. I wish to become part of me and be with me completely. Your body will. I achieve eternal life here. But first, it needs to break free from your will. Elijah nodded repeatedly, showing his loyalty. "Teacher, tell me what to do." Then the White Miss whispered instructions in his ear. Elijah's face suddenly froze. He was essentially a level 6 mutant elder evil, formed from monster parts, yet now facing a powerless man. He found himself unable to hold back tears. The White Miss disguised as his teacher, driving him to suicide and devotion. The White Miss chose slowly. Then it turned and left without a backward glance. At this point, Elijah withdrew back into himself, and his bizarre body began to rumble as if something was about to burst forth. In an instant, four massive arms thrust out from Elijah's back. Leaping and laughing wildly, he drove the giant arms through his own body. For half a minute, the crowd could not believe that Elijah had ended his own life. Meanwhile, the Eye of Prey LER appeared before White Mist. The screen displayed Elijah slain Talent Sequence 76. Gluttony acquired gains traits by devouring foes. The key is inside the Elder Evil. Retrieve it to enter the 3rd building. Linwar OU quickly asked White Mist, "Hey, wait a sec, what's going on here? Why did he kill himself? And what's this full-form plan you're talking about? And who is the teacher?" 5-9 wanted to know, as every conversation requires information backing. "When did you get this information?" White Mist couldn't explain the Eye of Prey LER's notes. "I'm not making this up," he said with a shake of his head. "I mentioned earlier, I'll only say this once. In the future, just trust me without asking why." Wei Shi laughed. Laughing, Shang Yi remarked, "First time I've seen an elder evil commit suicide. Is that common? Is it because the elder evils we've met before were merely ordinary predators?" Linwar OU warned, "Never see the elder evils as human. This is what countless investigations over 7 centuries have taught us." White Mist cut in, pointing out to Brother Wayne, "The key's inside the elder evil's stomach. I've checked, and you're the only one fit for this task." She promptly urged Linwar OU forward. "No, Bai Wu, you just arrived. He's better suited for this job." Linwar OU snorted and quickly pulled 11 knives of different sizes from his waist. "These knives are for dismemberment, which is an art. Don't think a chainsaw is all it takes. Unless you fancy blood splatter, these knives let you dismember with French culinary precision. Unluckily for the sissy, these knives haven't been spirit infused yet." Back to the main issue, this is a key to the next level. You're probably wondering if every door in this world needs a key. Use your mind, and you'll find the answer. Just a tip, what happened in this hospital was before the Tower era.